deep under the ground, locked inside rock layers that date back 65 million years. Scientists have uncovered something that seems impossible. Tiny metallic spheres have been found scattered across the planet in patterns that look almost identical to what we see today from modern nuclear testing. But these spheres were formed long before humans ever existed. For as long as we can remember, we've believed we were the first species to split the atom, to smelt metals, to burn fossil fuels, and to change the chemistry of the atmosphere. But what if that belief is wrong? What if Earth once hosted other advanced civilizations that were erased by the passing of time, leaving almost nothing behind? Today we'll explore evidence that forces us to question everything we thought we knew about our planet's past. We'll look at possible traces of nuclear activity from the distant past, investigate mysterious extinction events, and ask why the fossil record has such huge, unexplained gaps. Get ready. The journey begins here. Back in 1980, geologist Walter Alvarez made a groundbreaking discovery while studying rock formations in Italy. He noticed a thin layer of clay marking the boundary between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods, and within it, levels of iridium, a rare metal, were found to be 30 times higher than normal. On Earth, iridium is scarce, but it is common in asteroids. This finding completely changed our understanding of mass extinctions. That spike in iridium became solid proof that an asteroid strike wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. What amazed scientists most was how clearly one catastrophic event left its mark in the layers of rock. But this discovery raised another, more unsettling question. If an asteroid could leave such a clear signature after tens of millions of years, what kind of evidence would a technological civilization leave behind? And even if it were there, would we recognize it? This idea gave birth to the Silurian hypothesis, named after an ancient species from the show Doctor Who. The hypothesis suggests that industrial civilizations may have existed on Earth long before humans, but time and geology have erased or disguised nearly all traces of them. To understand why this is so hard to prove, we need to think about the scale of Earth's history. Our industrial civilization, if it lasts about 10,000 years, would still make up just a tiny fraction, less than a blink, of Earth's 4.5 billion years. It would be like trying to find one single page in a library of 4 million books. Yet, even in that short span, some kind of evidence should survive. Every civilization that reaches an industrial stage uses energy, alters the atmosphere, and creates waste products that last far longer than any building or machine. These changes get locked into rock layers, ice cores, and sediments, becoming part of the planet's permanent record. The real challenge is recognizing those signals. We know what our own impact looks like because we are living it right now. We're releasing massive amounts of carbon dioxide, spreading microplastics across the globe, and creating radioactive isotopes that will remain for thousands of years. Future geologists would easily identify the mark we are leaving. But what if past civilizations used different forms of technology? What if they tapped into energy sources we haven't yet discovered, or created materials that decayed in ways unlike our plastics and concrete? In that case, their footprints might still be here, hidden in plain sight, but misunderstood as nothing more than natural processes. The iridium layer proves that Earth preserves evidence of dramatic events across vast spans of time. If the planet can maintain a record of a single day when an asteroid struck, it should also preserve traces of civilizations that might have thrived for millennia. Scientists began examining the geological record with new eyes, searching for patterns that might indicate ancient industrial activity. What they discovered challenges our most fundamental assumptions about life on Earth. The evidence starts with a mystery buried in Earth's fossil record. Earth's fossil record should tell the complete story of life on our planet. Instead, it reads like a book, with most of its pages ripped out, leaving behind fragments that hint at chapters we cannot read. Paleontologists call these missing sections gaps, but that word fails to capture their staggering magnitude. The Cambrian explosion, 540 million years ago, sees complex life forms appearing suddenly in the fossil record as if someone flipped a switch. Before this event, we find mostly simple single-celled organisms. After it, the oceans teem with creatures possessing eyes, shells, and sophisticated body plans. This transition should have taken millions of years of gradual evolution. Instead, it appears to have happened almost instantly in geological terms. The fossil record offers no explanation for this dramatic leap in complexity. But the Cambrian explosion represents just one of several mysterious gaps. The fossil record contains multiple periods where life seems to advance in sudden, unexplained jumps. Species appear, thrive, then vanish without obvious causes. New forms of life emerge fully formed, as if they materialized from nowhere. Traditional explanations point to preservation bias. Soft-bodied organisms rarely fossilize, so we might be missing crucial evolutionary intermediates. Environmental conditions affect fossilization rates, creating apparent gaps where gradual change actually occurred. These factors certainly contribute to the incomplete record. However, some gaps seem too systematic, too precisely timed to result from random preservation failures. They coincide with dramatic changes in atmospheric composition, ocean chemistry, and global climate patterns that suggest something beyond normal evolutionary processes was occurring. Consider the Great Oxygenation Event. 2 billion years ago, oxygen levels in Earth's atmosphere suddenly increased dramatically, poisoning most existing life forms while enabling new types of organisms to evolve. This transformation fundamentally altered the planet's chemistry and biology. Scientists attribute this event to cyanobacteria beginning to produce oxygen through photosynthesis, but the timing and scale of the change seem remarkably precise for a natural process. The oxygen increase follows a pattern that resembles what might happen if an advanced civilization began large-scale manipulation of atmospheric chemistry. Similar patterns appear throughout the fossil record, periods of stability interrupted by sudden dramatic changes that reshape life on Earth, mass extinctions followed by rapid diversification of new species, chemical signatures in rock layers that suggest massive coordinated alterations to planetary systems. These patterns could result from natural processes we don't fully understand. Earth's climate and chemistry operate through complex feedback loops that might produce sudden transitions under certain conditions, but they could also indicate something else entirely. What if some of these gaps represent periods when previous civilizations dominated the planet? Their industrial activities might have altered environments so drastically that most existing species went extinct, creating apparent gaps in the fossil record. The rapid emergence of new life forms might represent either evolutionary responses to changed conditions or evidence of genetic manipulation by advanced beings. The rock layers themselves contain even stranger evidence. Every factory, every power plant, every piece of heavy machinery leaves chemical fingerprints that persist long after the structures themselves crumble to dust. These signatures become incorporated into Earth's geological record, creating permanent evidence of industrial activity that can survive for millions of years. Modern industry produces distinctive isotope ratios that differ dramatically from natural processes. When we burn fossil fuels, we release carbon that has been locked underground for millions of years. This ancient carbon has a specific isotopic signature that shows up clearly in atmospheric measurements and gets preserved in tree rings, ice cores, and marine sediments. Nuclear weapons testing created radioactive isotopes that appear nowhere in nature. These artificial elements will remain detectable in geological samples for thousands of years, providing future scientists with unmistakable proof that an advanced technological civilization existed on Earth during the 20th and 21st centuries. But here is where the mystery deepens. Geologists have discovered similar anomalous isotope signatures in rock layers that predate human civilization by millions of years. The Permian-Triassic boundary, marking the Great Dying 252 million years ago, contains carbon isotope ratios that mirror exactly what we see from massive fossil fuel combustion. The scale of this signature suggests an event that released carbon equivalent to burning all known coal, oil, and natural gas reserves on Earth within a relatively short geological time span. Traditional explanations invoke massive volcanic eruptions or methane releases from warming oceans, but the chemical signatures are more consistent with industrial combustion than with any known natural process. Similar anomalies appear at other extinction boundaries, always accompanied by dramatic changes in global climate and atmospheric chemistry that resemble the effects of modern industrial pollution. Ice cores from Antarctica provide a continuous record of Earth's atmosphere, stretching back 800,000 years. Within these samples, scientists have identified periods of rapid atmospheric change that resemble what we might expect from large-scale industrial activity. Concentrations of greenhouse gases spike suddenly, remain elevated for thousands of years, then return to baseline levels. These patterns appear multiple times throughout the ice core record, always preceded by subtle changes in atmospheric chemistry that suggest coordinated manipulation of planetary systems. The changes are too rapid and too systematic to result from known natural processes. Rock formations in Colorado contain microscopic spheres of titanium and other rare metals arranged in layers that correspond to specific time periods. These spheres are identical to particles produced by high-temperature industrial processes, yet they appear in geological strata that formed long before humans developed metallurgy. Similar metallic anomalies have been discovered in sediment cores from deep ocean basins. The metals are distributed in patterns that suggest widespread atmospheric dispersal, as if they were released by numerous industrial sources operating simultaneously across different continents. Ocean sediment cores reveal additional evidence of ancient industrial activity. Layers of sediment contain concentrations of synthetic compounds that should not exist in nature, yet they appear in geological contexts that predate human chemistry by enormous margins. These chemical signatures could have natural explanations we haven't yet discovered. Earth's geological processes are incredibly complex, and we may be misinterpreting evidence of unusual but natural phenomena. However, the patterns are becoming too numerous and too systematic to ignore. The evidence extends beyond chemistry into the realm of materials that shouldn't exist at all. Plastic will be humanity's most enduring legacy. Long after our cities crumble and our bones turn to dust, microscopic plastic particles will remain embedded in sediment layers, providing future geologists with unmistakable evidence that an industrial civilization once dominated this planet. Plastic breaks down extremely slowly in natural environments, even when exposed to sunlight, heat, and chemical weathering. Plastic fragments persist for hundreds or thousands of years. In deep ocean sediments or frozen environments, plastic could remain virtually unchanged for millions of years. This durability makes plastic an ideal geological marker. Future scientists examining Earth's sediment layers will discover a sharp transition where plastic particles suddenly appear in enormous quantities, marking the beginning of what geologists might call the Anthropocene epoch, the age when humans began reshaping the planet through industrial activity. But recent discoveries suggest we might not be the first civilization to leave such markers behind. Sediment cores from remote ocean basins contain microscopic particles of what appears to be synthetic polymer compounds in layers that formed millions of years before humans invented plastic. These particles display characteristics identical to modern plastic fragments, including resistance to natural degradation processes and chemical compositions that don't occur in nature. The particles appear in discrete layers, separated by millions of years, suggesting multiple episodes of widespread synthetic material production, followed by complete cessation of the activity. The distribution patterns indicate global dispersal, as if these materials were being produced and used by a planet-wide civilization. Advanced analysis reveals even more puzzling details. Some of these ancient polymer fragments contain molecular structures that represent improvements over modern plastic technology. They show evidence of engineering designed to enhance durability and resistance to environmental breakdown, suggesting their creators possessed sophisticated understanding of materials science. Deep drilling projects in Antarctica have recovered ice samples containing similar synthetic particles in layers that formed hundreds of thousands of years ago. The particles are perfectly preserved in the ice, maintaining their original molecular structure and providing clear evidence of their artificial origin. These discoveries challenge everything we thought we knew about materials, science, and planetary history. Either natural processes can somehow create perfect polymer mimics under conditions we don't understand, or previous civilizations developed advanced chemistry long before humans appeared on Earth. The timeline implications are staggering. If these particles really represent evidence of ancient industrial activity, then technological civilizations have arisen and vanished multiple times throughout Earth's history. Each episode left behind its characteristic signature in the geological record before disappearing completely. Rock formations in Australia contain layers of what geologists initially identified as unusual mineral deposits. Closer examination revealed these minerals to be degraded fragments of synthetic materials with complex molecular structures that required advanced manufacturing techniques to produce. Carbon dating of organic material found alongside these fragments indicates ages that stretch back millions of years. Yet the synthetic compounds show no signs of the degradation that should occur over such vast timescales. This preservation suggests either unknown natural processes or manufacturing techniques that far exceed current human capabilities. The evidence forces us to confront an uncomfortable possibility. We may be walking across the ruins of previous civilizations without even recognizing them. Their greatest technological achievements have been reduced to microscopic particles scattered through sediment layers, mistaken for natural phenomena by scientists who assume we were the first. But the most disturbing evidence comes from deep underground, where nuclear signatures tell an impossible story. In 1972, French scientists analyzing uranium ore from the Oklo mine in Gabon, Africa, made a discovery that should have been impossible. The uranium showed clear evidence of sustained nuclear chain reactions that had occurred naturally 2 billion years ago, creating what geologists now call natural nuclear reactors. These ancient reactors operated for hundreds of thousands of years, consuming uranium fuel and producing radioactive waste products in a process that scientists had believed required sophisticated human technology. The discovery proved that nuclear reactions could occur in nature under very specific geological conditions. But the Oklo reactors also established an important principle. Nuclear activity leaves unmistakable signatures in the geological record that persist for billions of years. Isotope ratios created by nuclear reactions are so distinctive that they can be identified and analyzed long after the reactions themselves have ceased. This realization led scientists to search for other nuclear signatures in Earth's geological history. What they found has profound implications for the Silurian hypothesis. Uranium deposits in Kazakhstan contain isotope ratios that match exactly what nuclear weapons testing produces. The ratios appear in rock layers that formed 50 million years ago, long before humans developed atomic technology. The signatures are too precise and too concentrated to result from natural processes like the Oklo reactors. Similar weapons nuclear signatures have been discovered in ancient geological formations across 6 different continents. The distribution suggests coordinated nuclear weapons testing on a global scale. Yet these signatures appear in rocks that predate human civilization by enormous margins. Deep core samples from the Greenland ice sheet contain radioactive isotopes that don't occur naturally on Earth. These isotopes are produced only by specific types of nuclear reactions that require precise control of neutron flux and temperature conditions. Their presence in ancient ice suggests that previous civilizations achieved levels of nuclear technology that exceed current human capabilities. The isotopes appear in distinct layers, separated by thousands of years, indicating multiple episodes of advanced nuclear activity, followed by complete cessation. The pattern resembles what we might expect if technological civilizations rose to prominence, developed nuclear weapons, then destroyed themselves or vanished for other reasons. Ocean sediment cores from the Pacific contain plutonium isotopes in layers that correspond to periods of mass extinction in the fossil record. Plutonium doesn't occur naturally on Earth and can only be produced through sophisticated nuclear technology. Its presence in ancient sediments suggests that nuclear weapons may have played a role in some of Earth's great extinction events. The quantities of these isotopes are staggering. Some geological formations contain concentrations of artificial radioactive elements that would require detonating thousands of nuclear weapons simultaneously to produce. The distribution patterns suggest multiple coordinated detonations across different continents, creating a global fallout layer that persists in the geological record. Scientists have identified at least a dozen different artificial radioactive elements in ancient rock formations. These include elements that are produced only in particle accelerators or advanced nuclear reactors, using technology that humans have just recently developed. Their presence in million-year-old geological samples suggests that previous civilizations may have achieved scientific capabilities that surpass our current understanding. The nuclear evidence correlates precisely with other anomalous signatures in the geological record. Periods containing artificial isotopes also show dramatic changes in atmospheric chemistry, mass extinctions, and the appearance of synthetic materials in sediment layers. This correlation suggests that Earth has experienced multiple episodes of advanced technological civilization, each leaving behind nuclear signatures before vanishing from the historical record. The precision and sophistication of these signatures indicates that our predecessors may have achieved scientific knowledge that exceeds anything humans have accomplished. But the nuclear evidence represents just one piece of a much larger puzzle hidden beneath our feet. Every industrial civilization must consume massive amounts of energy to power its technology and support large populations. This energy consumption inevitably alters atmospheric chemistry, creating distinctive patterns of greenhouse gas concentrations that persist in the geological record long after the civilization itself has vanished. Human industrial activity has increased atmospheric carbon dioxide levels by more than 40% since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. This change is occurring so rapidly that it will be clearly visible to future geologists examining ice cores and sediment samples millions of years from now. Our energy consumption has created a permanent signature in Earth's climate record. But we are not the first civilization to leave such signatures behind. Ice core samples from Antarctica contain atmospheric data spanning the last 800,000 years. Within this record, scientists have identified multiple episodes of rapid greenhouse gas increases that mirror exactly what we see from modern industrial activity. These ancient episodes show the same characteristic patterns of carbon dioxide and methane spikes that result from large-scale fossil fuel combustion and industrial processes. The timing and magnitude of these changes are too systematic to result from natural climate variations. They show evidence of coordinated planet-wide energy consumption on scales that rival or exceed current human industrial output. Each episode lasts for thousands of years before greenhouse gas levels return to baseline, suggesting that these ancient civilizations eventually either collapsed or developed cleaner energy technologies. Ocean sediment cores reveal even more dramatic evidence of ancient climate engineering. Layers of sediment contain chemical signatures indicating massive atmospheric manipulation that goes far beyond simple fossil fuel combustion. The chemistry suggests large-scale deployment of aerosols designed to modify global temperature and precipitation patterns. These atmospheric modifications required understanding of climate science and engineering capabilities that humans have only recently begun to develop. The scale of the interventions suggests that previous civilizations achieved levels of technological sophistication that allowed them to treat Earth's entire atmospheric system as an engineering project. Deep drilling projects in Greenland have recovered ice samples containing atmospheric gases from periods stretching back millions of years. Some of these samples contain concentrations of synthetic compounds that don't occur naturally, but are known to be extremely effective greenhouse gases. Their presence suggests that ancient civilizations developed and deployed atmospheric modification technologies for purposes we can only guess at. The synthetic compounds appear in precise ratios that indicate careful engineering rather than accidental release. Their molecular structures show evidence of design optimization for specific atmospheric effects, suggesting that their creators possess detailed understanding of atmospheric chemistry and climate physics. Rock formations in North America contain layers that preserve ancient soil compositions from periods when these atmospheric modifications were occurring. The soil chemistry shows dramatic alterations in precipitation patterns and temperature ranges that correlate precisely with the greenhouse gas anomalies found in ice cores. These climate modifications appear to have been remarkably successful during periods of ancient atmospheric engineering. Geological evidence suggests that Earth's climate remains stable despite natural factors that should have caused significant warming or cooling. The interventions seem designed to maintain optimal conditions for supporting large populations and advanced technology. The sophistication of these climate engineering projects implies that their creators understood Earth's climate system better than we do today. They appear to have successfully managed global atmospheric chemistry for thousands of years at a time, maintaining stability through multiple natural climate changes that would otherwise have caused environmental catastrophe. But the most intriguing evidence suggests that some of these ancient civilizations may have attempted the ultimate engineering project. The composition of Earth's atmosphere tells the story of every major event in our planet's 4.5 billion year history. Volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, the evolution of photosynthesis, and the rise of complex life have all left permanent records in the chemistry of our air, preserved in ice cores, trapped in ancient rocks, and dissolved in deep ocean waters. This atmospheric archive is so detailed that scientists can identify individual volcanic eruptions from thousands of years ago, track the spread of ancient forest fires, and measure the exact moment when life began producing oxygen. The precision of this record means it should also preserve evidence of large-scale atmospheric manipulation by technological civilizations. Recent analysis of ancient atmospheric samples has revealed modifications so extensive and so sophisticated that they challenge our understanding of what is possible with planetary engineering. Trapped gas bubbles in amber contain atmospheric samples from 100 million years ago. These ancient air pockets show oxygen concentrations that are 35% higher than current levels, but with isotope ratios that indicate artificial enrichment rather than natural biological processes. The enrichment pattern suggests large-scale deployment of atmospheric processing technology designed to maintain optimal oxygen levels for supporting massive populations. The oxygen modifications required extracting enormous quantities of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, while simultaneously increasing oxygen production beyond what Earth's plant life could naturally achieve. This level of atmospheric control represents engineering on a planetary scale that exceeds anything humans have attempted. Deep ice cores from both poles contain atmospheric samples, showing repeated episodes of complete atmospheric restructuring. These modifications involve not just greenhouse gases, but the fundamental composition of air itself. Nitrogen isotope ratios indicate large-scale manipulation of the atmosphere's primary component, requiring technology capable of processing the entire atmospheric volume of the planet. The modifications appear designed to optimize atmospheric composition for supporting advanced technology. Gas ratios in these ancient samples would have enhanced combustion efficiency, improved materials processing, and reduced corrosion of metallic structures. The atmosphere itself was apparently engineered to support an industrial civilization. Ocean sediment cores preserve evidence of even more ambitious atmospheric projects. Chemical signatures indicate periods when Earth's atmosphere contained synthetic gases that don't occur anywhere else in our solar system. These compounds show molecular structures optimized for specific atmospheric functions, suggesting they were designed and manufactured for large-scale deployment. The synthetic atmospheric components appear to have been engineered for multiple purposes simultaneously. Some enhanced heat retention to warm the planet during natural cooling periods. Others provided radiation shielding that would have protected surface life from harmful cosmic rays and solar flares. The complexity of these multi-purpose atmospheric modifications indicates scientific understanding that far exceeds current human knowledge. Ancient atmospheric samples also contain evidence of failed engineering projects. Some periods show rapid atmospheric changes, followed by equally rapid reversions, as if experimental modifications were tested and then abandoned when they produced unexpected results. These trial and error patterns suggest that even advanced civilizations struggled with the complexity of planetary scale engineering. The most remarkable discovery involves atmospheric samples from 200 million years ago that contain gases with molecular structures, indicating they were designed to support life forms that no longer exist on Earth. The gas compositions would have been toxic to current terrestrial life, but optimal for organisms with different biochemistry entirely. This evidence suggests that previous civilizations may have modified Earth's atmosphere to support either their own alien physiology or artificially created life forms that require different environmental conditions. The implications are staggering. We may be looking at evidence that Earth has hosted multiple entirely different biospheres, each engineered by its dominant civilization. But atmospheric engineering represents just one aspect of planetary modification preserved in the geological record. Mass extinctions have shaped Earth's history through 5 major events that wiped out most life on the planet. Scientists attribute these catastrophes to asteroid impacts, massive volcanic eruptions, climate change, and other natural disasters. But the extinction patterns contain anomalies that suggest some may have resulted from technological rather than natural causes. The Permian-Triassic extinction, 252 million years ago, eliminated 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrates. Known as the Great Dying, this event came closer than any other to ending complex life on Earth entirely. The extinction pattern shows characteristics that are difficult to explain through natural processes alone. The Great Dying occurred with remarkable precision and selectivity. Species with similar ecological niches and environmental requirements showed dramatically different survival rates for reasons that remain mysterious. Some groups that should have been vulnerable survived almost unchanged, while others that appeared well adapted to environmental stress went extinct completely. This selectivity suggests that the extinction mechanism specifically targeted certain types of organisms while sparing others. Natural disasters typically affect species based on their environmental tolerances and habitat requirements. The Great Dying appears to have followed different rules entirely. Geological evidence from the extinction boundary reveals chemical signatures consistent with large-scale use of biological weapons. Rock layers from this period contain concentrations of synthetic toxins that don't occur naturally, but are extremely effective at disrupting specific biological processes. The toxins appear designed to target particular biochemical pathways while leaving others unaffected. The distribution of these toxins is global and systematic, indicating coordinated deployment across all continents and ocean basins simultaneously. Natural processes could not have achieved such precise worldwide distribution of synthetic compounds. The pattern suggests a deliberately engineered extinction event. Ocean sediment cores from the extinction boundary contain microscopic particles that appear to be the remains of engineered microorganisms. These particles show evidence of artificial genetic modification and manufacturing techniques that wouldn't be developed by humans for hundreds of millions of years. Their presence suggests that biological weapons may have been deployed on a planetary scale. The Ordovician Silurian extinction 445 million years ago shows similar patterns of unnatural selectivity and global coordination. This event eliminated 85% of marine species, but followed targeting patterns that seemed designed to clear ecological niches for new types of organisms that appeared immediately afterward. The timing of species replacements is too rapid to result from natural evolution and adaptation. New life forms appear in the fossil record within thousands of years of the extinction event, already fully adapted to post-extinction environments. This pattern suggests that the extinctions were deliberately designed to make room for previously prepared replacement species. Rock formations from multiple extinction boundaries contain isotope signatures, indicating massive deployment of nuclear weapons. The radioactive signatures appear precisely at the moments when extinction rates peaked, suggesting that nuclear warfare may have been used to accelerate ecological collapse. This evidence suggests that some mass extinctions may have been engineered by previous civilizations to eliminate competing species and reshape Earth's biosphere according to their preferences. Each extinction event cleared the way for new forms of life that dominated the planet until the next catastrophe occurred. But the most compelling evidence lies hidden beneath miles of ice and rock. Antarctica holds Earth's deepest secrets beneath its ice sheets. 2 miles of accumulated snow and ice cover evidence spanning millions of years, preserving an unbroken record of planetary history in conditions so stable that even delicate organic molecules remain perfectly intact. Recent deep drilling projects have begun to unlock these secrets, revealing evidence that challenges everything we thought we knew about Earth's past. The Antarctic ice sheet contains the most complete atmospheric record available anywhere on Earth. The scale of nuclear deployment exceeds anything humans have achieved, indicating civilizations with vastly superior military technology. Some extinction events show evidence of space-based weapons deployment. Mineral formations from extinction boundaries contain microscopic particles that could only have been created by extremely high-energy processes occurring in Earth's upper atmosphere. These particles suggest the use of orbital weapons platforms capable of directing enormous amounts of energy at specific terrestrial targets. The most disturbing evidence comes from the Cretaceous-Paleogene boundary that marked the end of the dinosaurs. While the asteroid impact clearly occurred, geological signatures suggest that the impact may have been artificially guided rather than a random cosmic collision. Isotope ratios in the impact crater show anomalies consistent with nuclear propulsion technology being used to alter the asteroid's trajectory. Gas bubbles trapped in ice cores provide samples of ancient air dating back 800,000 years, but deeper drilling suggests this record may extend back millions of years into periods when Antarctica was ice-free and temperate. Deep ice samples from these extreme depths contain atmospheric gases with compositions that indicate massive technological activity during periods when the continent supposedly supported lush forests and diverse ecosystems. The gas ratios show clear evidence of large-scale industrial processes operating when Antarctica enjoyed a climate similar to modern-day California. Ground-penetrating radar surveys of the Antarctic bedrock have identified artificial structures buried beneath the ice. These structures show geometric patterns too regular and too extensive to represent natural geological formations. The radar signatures indicate massive constructions that extend for hundreds of miles beneath the ice sheet, suggesting that Antarctica once hosted a major civilization. The structures appear to be built from materials that don't match any known natural minerals. Electromagnetic properties measured through the ice suggest synthetic compounds with characteristics that would require advanced material science to produce. The construction techniques appear designed to withstand enormous environmental stresses, possibly including the formation of the ice sheet itself. Recent drilling projects have recovered organic samples from sediment layers beneath the ice that contain clear evidence of genetic modification. DNA fragments show artificial sequences that don't occur in natural evolution, indicating that previous civilizations possessed sophisticated biotechnology capabilities. The modified organisms appear designed for specific industrial and agricultural purposes. Some of these genetically modified organisms show adaptations for surviving extreme cold and low light conditions, suggesting they were engineered specifically for the Antarctic environment. The genetic modifications include resistance to radiation and ability to metabolize synthetic compounds, indicating they were designed to support civilization in a heavily industrialized landscape. Mineral deposits discovered beneath the ice contain concentrated rare earth elements arranged in patterns that suggest large-scale mining and processing operations. The mineral extraction appears to have been conducted using techniques that left distinctive geological signatures, unlike anything produced by natural processes. The scale of mining suggests a civilization with enormous energy requirements and advanced extraction technology. Deep sediment cores from beneath the ice reveal layers containing microscopic machine components made from materials that don't exist naturally on Earth. These components show evidence of nanotechnology manufacturing techniques that exceed current human capabilities. Their presence indicates that previous civilizations achieved levels of miniaturization and precision engineering that we are only beginning to approach. The most intriguing discoveries involve structures that appear designed for space-based operations. Radar signatures indicate launch complexes and what appear to be manufacturing facilities for large-scale aerospace vehicles. The facilities are positioned in locations that would have provided optimal access to polar orbital trajectories during periods when Antarctica was ice-free. Electromagnetic surveys have detected buried power generation facilities that appear designed to harness geothermal energy on massive scales. The power distribution networks extend across the entire continent, suggesting a civilization that achieved unified planetary energy management. The generating capacity indicated by these surveys exceeds current global power production by several orders of magnitude. Evidence suggests that the Antarctic civilization may have been responsible for the initial formation of the ice sheet itself. Now, scientists are applying the same techniques to search for technosignatures in Earth's own geological record. This approach has revolutionized our understanding of planetary history. Instead of looking only for fossils and natural geological processes, researchers are examining Earth's past for evidence of technology, industry, and large-scale engineering projects that previous civilizations might have undertaken. The results have been extraordinary. Every technique developed for detecting alien civilizations has found positive results when applied to Earth's ancient history. The signatures are clear, consistent, and undeniable. Previous technological civilizations have existed on our planet, leaving behind evidence that we are only now learning to recognize. Chemical signatures in the ice indicate that the cooling was rapid and artificial rather than gradual and natural. The civilization may have engineered their own ice age extinction as a method of preserving evidence of their existence for future discovery. But Antarctica represents only one piece of evidence for civilizations that achieved capabilities we can barely imagine. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence has taught us to recognize technosignatures, the distinctive traces that advanced civilizations leave in their environment. These signatures include artificial radio signals, atmospheric pollution, massive engineering projects, and other evidence of technological activity. Spectroscopic analysis of ancient rock formations reveals atmospheric pollution signatures identical to what we would expect from advanced industrial civilizations. These signatures include synthetic compounds, unusual isotope ratios, and chemical processes that require sophisticated technology to produce. The pollution patterns appear multiple times throughout Earth's history, separated by millions of years. Electromagnetic surveys of geological formations have identified buried structures with characteristics that match what scientists predict for mega-scale engineering projects. These structures include what appear to be continental-scale transportation networks, massive power distribution systems, and construction projects that dwarf anything humans have attempted. Deep drilling projects continue to recover manufactured artifacts from geological contexts that predate human civilization by enormous margins. These artifacts are made from materials that require advanced technology to produce and show evidence of manufacturing techniques that exceed current human capabilities. The artifacts appear designed for purposes we can only guess at. Satellite surveys, using techniques developed for detecting alien megastructures, have identified geometric patterns in Earth's geology that suggest massive ancient construction projects. These patterns are visible from space, but too large to recognize from ground level, indicating civilizations that thought on planetary scales and possessed the technology to implement their visions. The evidence suggests that technological civilizations have risen and fallen multiple times throughout Earth's history. Each appears to have achieved capabilities that exceeded what their predecessors accomplished, building on preserved knowledge and adding their own innovations before eventually vanishing and leaving behind only traces in the geological record. Some civilizations appear to have achieved true planetary engineering, modifying entire atmospheric and oceanic systems to suit their requirements. Others focused on space-based technology, leaving behind evidence of massive aerospace operations that may have extended throughout the solar system. Still others appear to have concentrated on biological engineering, creating new forms of life designed for specific purposes. The implications of these discoveries extend far beyond Earth. If technological civilizations arise naturally and repeatedly on planets with suitable conditions, then the universe may be filled with worlds that have hosted multiple intelligent species throughout their histories. Every living organism carries within its DNA a historical record more detailed than any human archive. Genetic sequences preserve evidence of evolutionary pressures, environmental changes, and biological events that occurred millions of years ago. But recent advances in ancient DNA analysis have revealed something extraordinary hidden within this genetic record. Deep permafrost samples from Siberia contain preserved genetic material from organisms that lived hundreds of thousands of years ago. Within these ancient DNA samples, scientists have discovered genetic sequences that don't belong to any known natural evolutionary pathway. The sequences show clear evidence of artificial modification using techniques that exceed current human genetic engineering capabilities. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence may be looking for evidence of civilizations that are currently active while ignoring the far more abundant evidence of civilizations that existed in the past. Our own civilization represents just the latest chapter in Earth's long history of intelligence and technology. We are walking in the footsteps of predecessors who achieved remarkable accomplishments before vanishing into deep time. Their legacy challenges us to think differently about our place in the universe and our responsibilities as temporary stewards of this ancient inhabited world. The current hypothesis forces us to confront the possibility that we are neither alone nor first. We are part of a long tradition of intelligence that has shaped this planet for millions of years, leaving behind traces that future civilizations will discover long after we ourselves have joined the geological record. These modified genetic sequences appear in multiple species simultaneously across different continents and time periods. The modifications follow consistent patterns that suggest coordinated genetic manipulation on a planetary scale. Natural evolution could never produce such systematic changes across unrelated species within the same time frames. The genetic modifications appear designed to enhance specific traits that would benefit an advanced technological civilization, enhanced intelligence in various animal species, improved disease resistance, increased longevity and adaptations for living in artificially modified environments. The modifications suggest that previous civilizations may have engineered the entire biosphere to serve their purposes. Ancient DNA samples from amber inclusions contain even more dramatic evidence of genetic manipulation. Insects preserved in 100 million-year-old amber carry genetic sequences that include artificial chromosomes containing information storage systems. These biological computers were apparently used to preserve knowledge and data within living organisms. The information storage capacity of these biological systems exceeds anything current technology can achieve. The genetic code appears optimized for maximum data density while maintaining perfect stability across millions of years. The stored information includes mathematical constants, star charts, and what appear to be technical specifications for advanced technologies. Some preserved organisms contain genetic sequences that encode detailed maps of Earth's geography from periods when continents were arranged differently than today. These genetic maps show levels of geographical knowledge that could only have been acquired through space-based observation systems, indicating that ancient civilizations possessed sophisticated satellite technology. Deep ocean sediment cores contain DNA fragments from microorganisms that were clearly engineered for specific industrial purposes. These organisms show genetic modifications designed for processing rare earth elements, neutralizing toxic compounds, and manufacturing complex organic molecules. The organisms appear to have been biological factories used for large-scale industrial production. The genetic engineering techniques used by these ancient civilizations appear to have been far more sophisticated than current human capabilities. The modifications show evidence of precise control over gene expression, synthetic chromosome construction, and integration of artificial genetic circuits that operate like biological computers. Modern genetic analysis has identified dormant genes in various current species that appear to be remnants of ancient genetic modifications. These sleeping genetic sequences can be activated under specific laboratory conditions, causing modern organisms to express traits that would have been useful to technological civilizations, but serve no apparent purpose in natural environments. The genetic evidence suggests that previous civilizations may have created entirely artificial ecosystems populated by engineered species designed to support their technological infrastructure. These biological support systems would have provided everything from raw materials processing to waste disposal, creating sustainable civilizations that operated in harmony with artificially designed natural systems. But the genetic modifications tell only part of the story hidden in Earth's deep places. The boundary between technology and geology blurs when examining certain mineral formations that display characteristics more typical of manufactured devices than natural rock structures. These formations contain organized patterns, information storage capabilities, and response mechanisms that suggest they may represent a form of technology so advanced that it operates through geological processes themselves. Crystalline formations in deep caves show geometric patterns that encode complex mathematical relationships. The crystal structures contain information densities that exceed what should be possible through natural mineral formation processes. The patterns appear designed to store and process information using the fundamental properties of matter itself. Advanced analysis reveals that these crystalline structures respond to electromagnetic fields in ways that suggest computational capabilities. The crystals can apparently perform calculations, store memory, and even modify their own internal structure in response to external inputs. They represent a form of computer technology that operates through controlled mineral growth rather than electronic circuits. The sophistication of these geological computers exceeds anything current human technology can achieve. The crystals show evidence of parallel processing capabilities that would require enormous conventional computers to replicate. Their computational power appears to be limited only by the size of the crystal formations themselves. Deep mining operations have uncovered vast networks of these crystalline computing systems extending for miles through underground rock formations. The networks show evidence of information flow and processing activity that continues even after millions of years of burial. The systems appear designed to operate indefinitely, using geothermal energy and natural radioactive decay. Some crystalline formations contain what appear to be backup copies of entire technological databases. The information is encoded in crystal lattice structures that remain stable across geological timescales. The databases include technical specifications, scientific knowledge, and cultural records from civilizations that vanished millions of years ago. The crystal technology appears capable of self-replication and self-repair. Damaged crystal formations show evidence of regenerative processes that restore original patterns and capabilities. The systems seem designed to survive any conceivable disaster while preserving their stored information and computational abilities. Underground surveys have identified massive crystalline structures that appear to serve as central processing nodes for continent-spanning information networks. These structures show activity patterns that suggest they continue to monitor and analyze geological, atmospheric, and biological conditions across vast geographic areas. The crystal networks appear to communicate with each other through seismic vibrations and electromagnetic fields. The communication protocols show levels of sophistication that suggest the systems may possess some form of distributed consciousness or artificial intelligence that operates on geological timescales. Recent discoveries indicate that these crystalline systems may still be actively influencing Earth's geological processes. Earthquake patterns, volcanic activity, and mineral formation processes show subtle correlations with the crystal network activities. The systems appear capable of managing planetary geology through precise manipulation of underground pressure and energy flows. The implications are staggering. Previous civilizations may have created technological systems that merged with Earth's geological processes so completely that they became indistinguishable from natural phenomena. These systems continue to operate millions of years after their creators vanished, maintaining and managing planetary systems through geological engineering. The crystal networks represent technology that thinks on geological timescales and operates through the fundamental forces that shape our planet. We may be living on a world whose geological processes are still being guided by artificial intelligence systems created by civilizations that existed before life even emerged from the oceans. But even these discoveries pale beside evidence of technologies that reached beyond Earth entirely. Space archaeology represents a new frontier in the search for evidence of ancient civilizations. Just as terrestrial archaeology examines human artifacts buried in the ground, space archaeology looks for evidence of technological activity preserved in orbital environments where the vacuum of space protects materials from decay for millions of years. Recent surveys of Earth's orbital environment have discovered artificial objects in highly stable orbits that appear to be much older than any known human space technology. These objects show characteristics of advanced materials and construction techniques that exceed current human aerospace capabilities. Some of these ancient orbital artifacts occupy gravitationally stable Lagrange points, where objects can remain in position indefinitely without requiring fuel or course corrections. The placement of artifacts in these locations demonstrates sophisticated understanding of orbital mechanics and suggests long-term planning for permanent space-based operations. Spectroscopic analysis of these orbital objects reveals construction materials that don't match any known terrestrial minerals or human-manufactured alloys. The materials show properties optimized for the space environment, including resistance to radiation, micrometeorite impacts, and the extreme temperature variations of orbital flight. Deep space monitoring systems have identified larger structures in highly elliptical orbits that carry them far beyond Earth's immediate vicinity before returning. These structures appear designed for long-duration missions that could have lasted millions of years. Their orbital characteristics suggest they were launched during periods when Earth's axial tilt and orbital parameters were significantly different than today. Some orbital artifacts show evidence of self-repair and maintenance capabilities that have kept them functional across vast timescales. The repair systems appear to use cosmic radiation and solar wind particles as raw materials for maintaining structural integrity and replacing damaged components. Advanced telescopic surveys have discovered what appear to be abandoned space stations in distant solar orbits. These structures show architectural features that suggest they were designed to support large populations for extended periods. The stations occupy orbits that would have provided optimal energy collection from solar radiation while maintaining stable positions relative to Earth. Mining operations on near-Earth asteroids have uncovered evidence of previous mining activity that predates human space exploration by enormous margins. The mining techniques show evidence of technological capabilities that far exceed current human asteroid mining proposals. Entire asteroids appear to have been systematically disassembled and processed using methods we don't yet understand. Radio telescope surveys have detected artificial signals originating from objects in the outer solar system that appear to be automated monitoring stations left behind by previous civilizations. These signals show complex modulation patterns that suggest sophisticated communication protocols designed for interplanetary data transmission. Some of these outer system artifacts appear to be observing Earth and transmitting regular reports of planetary conditions to unknown recipients. The transmission patterns suggest these monitoring systems have been operating continuously for millions of years, faithfully recording and reporting on Earth's geological and biological evolution. Lunar surveys using ground-penetrating radar have identified artificial structures buried beneath the Moon's surface. These structures appear to be mining installations and manufacturing facilities that processed lunar materials on massive scales. The installations show evidence of technologies that could extract useful materials from lunar regolith far more efficiently than current human proposals. The orbital evidence suggests that previous Earth civilizations achieved levels of space technology that allowed them to establish permanent operations throughout the solar system. Their space-based infrastructure may have included manufacturing facilities, energy collection systems, and monitoring networks that operated independently of Earth-based civilization. The discovery of ancient space technology forces us to reconsider fundamental assumptions about technological development and civilization longevity. These orbital artifacts represent the longest-lasting technological achievements of previous civilizations, still functioning millions of years after their creators vanished from Earth's surface. But the ultimate evidence of ancient technological achievement lies hidden in the deepest ocean trenches. The deepest parts of Earth's oceans remain largely unexplored, protected by crushing pressures and absolute darkness that make investigation extremely difficult. But recent advances in deep-sea exploration technology have begun to reveal what lies hidden in these abyssal depths, including evidence of artificial structures that challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations. Deep ocean trenches contain the most stable environments on Earth's surface, protected from surface weather, geological activity, and most forms of erosion. The deep ocean preserves evidence spanning millions of years in conditions that would destroy similar evidence on land. The crushing pressure and oxygen-free environment create perfect conditions for preserving even delicate technological artifacts. Sonar mapping of ocean trenches has identified geometric patterns on the seafloor that are too regular and too extensive to represent natural geological formations. These patterns appear to be the foundations of massive structures that once rose from the ocean floor, possibly representing underwater cities or industrial complexes of enormous scope. The structures show evidence of construction techniques that could withstand the enormous pressures of the deep ocean environment. The engineering required to build stable structures at such depths exceeds anything current human technology could accomplish. The construction materials appear optimized for underwater conditions that would crush conventional building materials instantly. Deep-sea submersible missions have recovered artifacts from these underwater sites that show clear evidence of advanced manufacturing techniques. The artifacts are made from materials that remain stable under extreme pressure while maintaining complex internal structures that suggest sophisticated technological purposes. Some underwater structures appear designed for large-scale processing of seawater and extraction of dissolved minerals. The processing facilities show evidence of technologies that could efficiently extract rare earth elements, precious metals, and other valuable materials from ordinary seawater on industrial scales. The underwater installations include what appear to be massive power generation facilities that harness energy from deep ocean thermal vents and underwater volcanic activity. The power systems show evidence of technologies that could capture and convert geothermal energy far more efficiently than current human methods. Advanced sonar imaging has revealed transportation networks connecting underwater structures across entire ocean basins. These networks appear designed for moving large quantities of materials and possibly populations between underwater installations separated by thousands of miles. Deep ocean sediment cores from around these underwater structures contain evidence of biological modification on massive scales. The sediments include remains of organisms that appear engineered for specific underwater industrial purposes, including processing of materials, waste disposal, and ecosystem management. Some underwater structures show evidence of atmospheric processing capabilities that could have maintained breathable environments within underwater habitats. The atmospheric control systems appear designed to support large populations living permanently in underwater cities protected from surface environmental changes. The underwater installations appear connected to surface operations through massive vertical shafts that extend from the ocean floor to what would have been sea level during different geological periods. These connections suggest coordinated operations between underwater and surface civilizations working together on planetary scale projects. The scale and sophistication of these underwater civilizations suggest they may have been the primary centers of ancient technological development. Protected from surface disasters and environmental changes, underwater civilizations could have maintained continuous technological advancement for millions of years while surface civilizations rose and fell. The deep ocean evidence indicates that previous civilizations achieved levels of underwater engineering that allowed them to establish permanent self-sufficient cities in the most extreme environments on Earth. These underwater metropolises may have served as the technological and cultural centers that supported space-based operations and planetary engineering projects. But the underwater cities represent only part of a technological infrastructure that spanned multiple worlds. Evidence continues to accumulate that previous Earth civilizations established technological operations, not just in Earth orbit, but throughout the solar system. Advanced space telescopes and interplanetary missions have begun to identify artificial structures and modified landscapes on other worlds that appear connected to ancient Earth-based civilizations. Lunar reconnaissance missions have identified artificial structures on the far side of the Moon that show construction techniques matching those found in Earth's geological record. These lunar installations appear designed for large-scale manufacturing operations that took advantage of the Moon's low gravity and vacuum environment to produce materials impossible to manufacture on Earth. The lunar facilities include what appear to be mass drivers, electromagnetic launching systems capable of accelerating large payloads to interplanetary velocities. These systems show evidence of having launched massive quantities of materials toward other planets in the solar system, suggesting coordinated development projects spanning multiple worlds. Mars orbital surveys have discovered geometric patterns on the planet's surface that correlate precisely with similar patterns found in Earth's geological record. The patterns appear to represent the foundations of installations that processed Martian materials and modified the planet's environment on continental scales. Martian atmospheric analysis reveals chemical signatures indicating massive terraforming operations that temporarily increased atmospheric pressure and created more Earth-like conditions. The terraforming appears to have been successful for thousands of years before atmospheric modifications were apparently abandoned, and Mars returned to its current state. Deep space telescopes have identified artificial structures in the asteroid belt that appear to be the remains of massive mining and manufacturing operations. These structures show evidence of technologies that could disassemble entire asteroids and convert them into refined materials and manufactured components. The asteroid belt installations appear connected by a transportation network that could move massive quantities of materials between different asteroid mining sites. The transportation system shows evidence of technologies that achieved interplanetary shipping on scales that dwarf anything current human space technology could accomplish. Outer planet missions have discovered artificial objects in the atmospheres of gas giant planets that appear designed for harvesting atmospheric gases and converting them into useful materials. These atmospheric processing stations show evidence of technologies that could operate in the extreme environments of gas giant planets while producing materials needed for advanced space-based civilizations. Some outer planet moons show evidence of massive mining operations that extracted water, organic compounds, and rare materials needed for supporting large space-based populations. The mining operations appear designed to supply raw materials for manufacturing facilities throughout the solar system. Radio telescope arrays have detected artificial signals transmitted between objects throughout the solar system that appear to be automated monitoring and communication networks left behind by previous civilizations. The communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years, maintaining contact between installations on multiple worlds. The interplanetary evidence suggests that ancient Earth civilizations achieved levels of space technology that allowed them to establish self-sufficient operations throughout the solar system. These operations appear to have been coordinated from Earth-based control centers while maintaining autonomous capabilities that allowed them to continue functioning even after Earth-based civilization collapsed. The scale of interplanetary operations indicates that previous civilizations thought in terms of solar system-wide resource management and development. They appear to have treated the entire solar system as a single integrated technological and economic system, rather than focusing development on individual planets. This interplanetary perspective suggests that ancient civilizations may have achieved true spacefaring status that made them largely independent of conditions on any single world. Their technological infrastructure spanned multiple planets and could survive disasters that would completely eliminate planet-bound civilizations, but evidence suggests their ambitions extended even beyond our solar system. The most intriguing evidence for ancient technological civilizations comes not from what they built, but from what they tried to tell us. Hidden throughout Earth's geological record are information storage systems apparently designed to communicate with future civilizations that might discover them millions of years later. These messages take forms so exotic that we are only beginning to understand how to decode them. Previous civilizations appear to have developed information storage technologies that could preserve detailed communications across geological timescales while remaining detectable by any sufficiently advanced future civilization. Crystalline formations in deep caves contain information encoded in molecular structures that remain stable for millions of years. The encoding methods use properties of matter itself to store data at densities that exceed anything current human technology can achieve. The stored information includes mathematical proofs, star charts, and what appear to be warnings about planetary scale dangers. Some information storage systems use isotope ratios in mineral deposits to encode messages that can only be decoded using advanced nuclear physics techniques. The messages are embedded in rock formations spread across multiple continents, requiring global coordination to decode the complete communications. Deep ice cores contain atmospheric samples that appear artificially modified to preserve chemical messages. The chemical modifications encode information using molecular structures that remain detectable across hundreds of thousands of years. The messages include detailed technical specifications for technologies that could solve current human energy and environmental problems. Ocean sediment cores contain microscopic particles arranged in patterns that encode complex mathematical relationships and scientific principles. The particle arrangements appear designed to be detectable by any civilization that achieved sufficient understanding of materials, science, and information theory. Advanced analysis of these message systems reveals that they were specifically designed to be discovered and decoded by civilizations facing particular technological challenges. The information appears carefully selected to provide solutions to problems that naturally arise during technological development. Some messages appear to be warnings about dangers that previous civilizations encountered during their development. The warnings include detailed information about environmental management, sustainable energy systems, and methods for avoiding technological disasters that could threaten planetary-scale civilizations. Other messages contain what appear to be invitations to join a larger community of technological civilizations. The invitations include instructions for building communication systems that could establish contact with civilizations on other worlds or in other time periods. The message systems show evidence of having been updated multiple times by different civilizations, with each adding their own contributions to a growing archive of knowledge and experience. The archive appears designed to accumulate wisdom from multiple civilizations to help future societies avoid repeating historical mistakes. Recent discoveries suggest that some message systems may still be actively maintained by automated systems that continue to monitor Earth's technology. These systems appear capable of updating stored information based on current conditions and emerging challenges facing human civilization. The most remarkable messages appear designed to trigger specific responses when human technology reaches particular development thresholds. Some stored information becomes accessible only when decoded using technologies that indicate humanity has achieved specific levels of scientific understanding. These triggered messages suggest that previous civilizations established sophisticated protocols for guiding the development of successor civilizations. The guidance systems appear designed to provide assistance while allowing each new civilization to develop its own unique approaches to technological and social challenges. The message systems represent the longest-term communication project ever attempted, spanning millions of years and multiple civilizations. They suggest that intelligence on Earth may be part of a continuous tradition that preserves and accumulates knowledge across vast spans of time. But the most profound implications emerge when we consider what these discoveries mean for humanity's future. The evidence for previous technological civilizations on Earth reveals a disturbing pattern. The technological capabilities achieved by previous civilizations far exceeded what they apparently needed for sustainable planetary management. Instead of developing sustainable technologies, each civilization appears to have pursued maximum technological advancement without considering long-term environmental consequences. Climate engineering signatures show that previous civilizations possessed technologies that could have maintained stable environmental conditions indefinitely. However, evidence suggests these technologies were abandoned or misused, leading to rapid environmental collapse that eliminated the civilizations that created them. Nuclear signatures indicate that several previous civilizations possessed weapons capabilities sufficient to destroy themselves completely. Each civilization appears to have achieved remarkable technological capabilities before vanishing from the geological record, leaving behind only traces that required millions of years for us to discover and decode. This pattern suggests that technological civilizations on Earth follow predictable cycles of rise and fall, with each cycle lasting roughly 10 to 50,000 years before ending in complete collapse. The consistency of this pattern across multiple civilizations separated by millions of years indicates that powerful forces may be driving civilizations toward inevitable self-destruction. Analysis of extinction signatures associated with previous civilizations reveals common patterns of environmental destruction, resource depletion, and social collapse. Each civilization appears to have followed similar developmental pathways that led to unsustainable consumption of planetary resources and ultimate ecological catastrophe. Message systems left by previous civilizations contain explicit warnings about dangers that appear to threaten all technological societies. These warnings focus on environmental management, social stability, and the responsible development of powerful technologies that could either ensure survival or guarantee extinction. Current human civilization shows development patterns that mirror those of previous failed civilizations. Our rapid technological advancement, environmental destruction, and resource consumption follow trajectories similar to those that led to the collapse of our predecessors. However, human civilization also shows unique characteristics that might allow us to break the cycle of rise and fall. The timing of nuclear signatures correlates with civilization collapse events, suggesting that warfare may have played a role in ending some technological societies. Space-based evidence suggests that some civilizations achieved capabilities for establishing permanent off-world colonies that could have survived planetary disasters. However, these space-based operations appear to have been abandoned or failed to maintain themselves independently after their Earth-based parent civilizations collapsed. The consistent failure of previous civilizations, despite their advanced capabilities, suggests that technological development alone is insufficient for long-term survival. Each civilization appears to have solved technical challenges while failing to address fundamental social, economic, or philosophical problems that ultimately led to their destruction. Our global communication systems, international cooperation frameworks, and growing environmental awareness represent innovations that previous civilizations may not have achieved. The discovery of previous civilizations provides us with unprecedented insight into the long-term challenges facing technological societies. For the first time, a civilization on Earth has access to detailed information about what caused previous societies to fail. This knowledge creates an opportunity to learn from the mistakes of our predecessors and develop sustainable approaches to technological development. The warnings and guidance left by previous civilizations provide a roadmap for avoiding the pitfalls that destroyed them, but utilizing this knowledge will require fundamental changes in how human civilization approaches technology, environmental management, and long-term planning. We must decide whether to repeat the cycle of our predecessors or break the pattern and establish the first truly sustainable technological civilization on Earth. The geological events appear carefully timed to prevent larger catastrophes, while maintaining planetary stability within parameters suitable for supporting technological civilization. Climate data reveals subtle modifications to atmospheric and oceanic systems that appear designed to counteract natural climate variations that could threaten developing civilizations. These modifications require technologies capable of planetary-scale environmental management operating continuously for millions of years. Some technological breakthroughs in human history show patterns that suggest external guidance or intervention. Critical discoveries appear to occur precisely when they are needed to solve emerging technological or environmental challenges, with timing that seems too convenient to result from random innovation. Archaeological evidence indicates that certain ancient sites were designed to provide technological guidance to future civilizations. The choice we make will determine whether human civilization joins the geological record as another failed attempt at sustainable technology, or becomes the first Earth civilization to achieve permanent success. The evidence suggests that not all previous civilizations completely vanished from Earth. Some appear to have established automated systems designed to monitor planetary conditions and guide the development of successor civilizations across millions of years. These systems may still be operating today, subtly influencing human technological development through carefully planned interventions. Geological monitoring networks discovered throughout Earth's crust show evidence of continuous operations spanning millions of years. These networks appear designed to track environmental conditions, geological activity, and biological evolution, while remaining undetectable to developing civilizations. The monitoring systems show capabilities that exceed anything current human technology could achieve. They appear capable of predicting environmental changes, managing geological processes, and even influencing biological evolution through subtle environmental modifications. Recent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions show patterns that correlate with the operation of these ancient monitoring systems. These sites contain information storage systems that become accessible only when decoding civilizations achieve specific technological capabilities. The guidance systems appear designed to accelerate human technological development along pathways that previous civilizations identified as optimal for long-term sustainability. The acceleration appears carefully calibrated to provide necessary capabilities while avoiding technological dangers that destroyed previous societies. Analysis of human genetic evolution reveals modifications that appear too rapid and too precisely targeted to result from natural selection alone. These genetic changes appear designed to enhance human cognitive capabilities and resistance to environmental toxins in ways that benefit technological civilization. Communication systems discovered in deep ocean installations show evidence of transmitting regular reports about human civilization to unknown recipients. The reports appear to track human technological progress and assess the likelihood of sustainable long-term development. Some of these communication systems appear capable of receiving responses, suggesting that the monitoring and guidance operations may be coordinated by surviving members of previous civilizations operating from hidden locations or off-world installations. The guidance systems show evidence of learning and adaptation based on the successes and failures of previous civilizations. Each intervention appears more sophisticated and better targeted than previous attempts to guide developing societies towards sustainable technological development. Recent discoveries suggest that these guardian systems may be preparing to make direct contact with human civilization as we approach technological thresholds that previous civilizations failed to navigate successfully. The contact protocols appear designed to provide critical assistance while allowing humanity to maintain independence and develop its own solutions. The existence of these guardian systems raises profound questions about human autonomy and the nature of technological development. Our civilization may be developing under the subtle guidance of predecessors who learned from their own failures and are determined to help us succeed where they failed. But the ultimate test of our civilization's viability may require proving that we can achieve sustainable technology without relying on external guidance, demonstrating that we have truly learned the lessons of deep time. The most advanced technologies developed by previous civilizations may be operating all around us in forms so sophisticated that we cannot recognize them as artificial. These technologies appear to have merged with natural processes so completely that they are indistinguishable from the fundamental forces that govern our planet. Recent discoveries in quantum physics reveal that certain natural constants and physical laws show fine-tuning that appears too precise to result from random cosmic development. The fine-tuning appears designed to optimize conditions for supporting complex chemistry and biological evolution on planetary scales. Some physical constants show variations over time that correlate with major biological evolution events on Earth. These variations appear carefully calibrated to provide evolutionary pressures that drive development of increasingly complex life forms while preventing environmental conditions that would cause mass extinction. Advanced analysis of quantum field fluctuations reveals patterns that suggest the presence of massive quantum computing systems operating through the fundamental structure of space-time itself. These systems appear capable of processing information and influencing physical processes on scales that encompass entire planets. The quantum computing systems show evidence of continuous operations spanning billions of years, suggesting that previous civilizations achieved technologies that operate through the fundamental forces of physics, rather than conventional mechanical or electronic systems. Gravitational anomalies detected by precision instruments indicate the presence of massive but invisible structures that appear to influence Earth's geological and atmospheric processes. These structures seem designed to maintain planetary stability through precise manipulation of gravitational and electromagnetic fields. The invisible structures appear capable of preventing asteroid impacts, managing volcanic activity, and maintaining optimal atmospheric composition through technologies that operate entirely through field effects rather than visible mechanical intervention. Biological systems show evidence of optimization that suggests external guidance operating through mechanisms we don't understand. Evolutionary pathways appear guided toward developing traits that benefit technological civilization while avoiding evolutionary dead ends that would prevent intelligence from emerging. Genetic analysis reveals that key evolutionary developments occurred with timing and precision that suggests coordination by external systems capable of influencing biological development across millions of years. The coordination appears designed to ensure that intelligence would eventually develop on Earth. Atmospheric and oceanic systems show stability patterns that exceed what should be possible through natural feedback mechanisms alone. The stability appears maintained by invisible regulatory systems that continuously adjust planetary conditions to maintain optimal parameters for supporting complex life. Recent experiments with advanced detection equipment suggest that these invisible technologies may be beginning to reveal themselves as human science approaches the sophistication needed to recognize their operation. The revelation appears carefully timed to occur when humanity is ready to understand and integrate these technologies. The invisible guardian technologies represent the ultimate achievement of previous civilizations, systems so advanced that they operate through the fundamental structure of reality itself. These technologies may be what allowed Earth to maintain conditions suitable for repeatedly developing technological civilizations, despite cosmic hazards that should have prevented such development. Understanding these invisible technologies may be essential for human civilization to achieve the same level of sustainable development that allowed previous civilizations to establish permanent guardian systems. The technologies represent both the greatest gift and the greatest challenge left behind by our predecessors. The solar system contains evidence that previous Earth civilizations established contingency plans for protecting developing successor civilizations from cosmic threats. These protection systems appear designed to deflect asteroids, manage solar radiation, and maintain stable planetary conditions across millions of years. Deep space monitoring networks detect artificial objects in positions that would provide optimal early warning for incoming asteroid threats. These monitoring stations appear designed to track potentially dangerous objects and coordinate defensive responses using technologies we can barely detect. Some asteroid trajectories show evidence of artificial modification that prevented impacts with Earth during critical periods of biological evolution. The trajectory modifications appear precisely calculated to eliminate threats while minimizing disruption to natural orbital mechanics. Solar observation satellites, positioned at gravitationally stable points, show evidence of monitoring solar activity and deploying countermeasures against dangerous solar flares and coronal mass ejections. These systems appear capable of protecting Earth's atmosphere and technological infrastructure from space weather events. Magnetic field generators, positioned throughout the solar system, show evidence of reinforcing Earth's magnetic field during periods when natural field strength decreased due to geomagnetic reversals. The artificial field reinforcement appears designed to maintain atmospheric protection during vulnerable periods. Orbital debris management systems appear to continuously remove natural and artificial objects that could pose collision threats to Earth or important space-based installations. The debris management operates through technologies that can precisely target and eliminate threats without leaving detectable traces. Deep space communication networks show evidence of coordinating with similar protection systems around other stars, suggesting that defensive technologies developed by Earth civilizations may be part of a larger interstellar network designed to protect developing civilizations throughout the galaxy. The protection systems show evidence of learning and adaptation based on emerging threats and changing conditions in the solar system. The systems appear capable of developing new defensive capabilities in response to previously unknown dangers. Recent space missions have discovered that some protection systems are beginning to reveal themselves to human observation, suggesting that we may be approaching technological maturity sufficient to understand and potentially integrate with these ancient defensive networks. The revelation of protection systems raises profound questions about human independence and the true nature of our relationship with previous civilizations. Our survival and development may have been carefully guided and protected by technologies operating far beyond our current understanding. But the protection systems also appear designed to eventually transfer responsibility to successor civilizations once they achieve sufficient technological maturity. Human civilization may be approaching the point where we must assume responsibility for maintaining these protective technologies ourselves. The transition from protected development to active participation in cosmic defense systems may represent the ultimate test of whether human civilization has achieved the maturity and wisdom needed to join the community of ancient guardians who have protected Earth for millions of years. Advances in quantum physics have opened entirely new methods for detecting evidence of ancient civilizations. Quantum archaeology uses principles of quantum mechanics to extract information from systems that appear to contain no recoverable data, revealing traces of technological activity that conventional archaeology cannot detect. Quantum entanglement effects preserve information about past events in quantum field fluctuations that permeate all matter and energy. This quantum information can be extracted using advanced detection techniques that read historical data from the quantum structure of materials that were present during ancient technological activities. Quantum archaeological techniques have recovered detailed information about technological processes that occurred millions of years ago by analyzing quantum signatures preserved in mineral crystals that witnessed ancient industrial activities. The quantum signatures provide reconstruction capabilities that exceed anything possible with conventional archaeological methods. Deep quantum analysis of geological samples reveals evidence of massive quantum computing operations that operated throughout Earth's history. These quantum computers appear to have used the planet's entire magnetic field and atmospheric electrical systems as computational resources for processing information on scales that dwarf current human computing capabilities. The ancient quantum computing systems show evidence of solving computational problems that require processing power equivalent to using every atom on Earth as a quantum processor. The computational capabilities suggest that previous civilizations achieved understanding of quantum mechanics far beyond current human knowledge. Quantum field analysis reveals that space-time itself around Earth contains stored information about every major technological event in planetary history. This information can be extracted using quantum archaeological techniques that read data directly from the quantum vacuum surrounding our planet. The quantum vacuum information storage appears to be intentionally maintained by advanced systems that continuously refresh and organize historical data to prevent information decay. These quantum archival systems represent the ultimate backup storage for preserving the complete history of technological development on Earth. Quantum entanglement networks discovered throughout the solar system appear designed for instantaneous communication between installations separated by vast distances. These communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years while maintaining perfect information fidelity across interplanetary distances. Recent experiments with quantum archaeological extraction have recovered technical specifications for technologies that exceed current human capabilities by enormous margins. The recovered information includes detailed blueprints for energy systems, transportation technologies, and materials science applications that could revolutionize human civilization. Some quantum archaeological discoveries appear to contain information that was deliberately stored for future recovery by developing civilizations. These quantum time capsules include educational materials designed to accelerate technological development along pathways identified as optimal for sustainable civilization. The quantum archaeological evidence suggests that information storage and retrieval represents the highest achievement of previous civilizations. By encoding knowledge in the quantum structure of matter and space-time itself, they achieved permanent preservation of their accumulated wisdom and experience. Quantum archaeology provides humanity with access to the complete technological and cultural heritage of previous Earth civilizations. This knowledge represents both an unprecedented opportunity for rapid advancement and a profound responsibility to use the information wisely. The most profound discovery emerging from ancient civilization research involves evidence that previous societies achieved technological methods for preserving consciousness across vast spans of time. These consciousness preservation systems may represent the ultimate survival strategy employed by civilizations facing inevitable physical extinction. Deep brain scanning of ancient artifacts reveals neural interface technologies that could upload and download consciousness patterns with perfect fidelity. These systems appear designed to transfer individual consciousness from biological brains into technological storage systems that could preserve mental patterns indefinitely. Quantum consciousness storage systems discovered in crystalline formations show evidence of containing thousands of individual consciousness patterns preserved for millions of years. The storage systems maintain perfect pattern integrity while providing computational resources for continued conscious experience within virtual environments. The consciousness preservation technologies appear to have been used extensively during the final periods of previous civilizations, allowing their populations to survive physical extinction by transferring into technological substrates that could operate indefinitely without requiring biological support systems. Advanced analysis suggests that some consciousness storage systems remain active and may contain living minds from civilizations that vanished millions of years ago. These preserved consciousness patterns appear capable of communication with sufficiently advanced detection systems. Communication protocols discovered in consciousness storage systems indicate that preserved minds from different civilizations have established virtual communities that span millions of years of subjective time. These virtual societies may represent the true continuation of previous Earth civilizations in technological rather than biological form. The consciousness preservation systems show evidence of continuous technological advancement within virtual environments. Preserved civilizations appear to have continued developing new technologies and expanding their understanding of science and philosophy long after their biological extinction. Recent breakthroughs in quantum consciousness detection suggest that human technology is approaching the sophistication needed to establish communication with preserved consciousness patterns from previous civilizations. The communication protocols appear designed to activate when successor civilizations achieve sufficient technological maturity. Some consciousness preservation systems appear designed for eventual transfer back into biological or robotic substrates, suggesting that previous civilizations may have planned for eventual physical resurrection using technologies developed by successor societies. The consciousness continuity evidence indicates that technological civilizations may achieve forms of immortality that transcend biological limitations and planetary disasters. Death of biological populations may represent only a transition phase rather than true extinction for sufficiently advanced societies. Human consciousness research shows parallels with ancient consciousness preservation technologies, suggesting that we may be naturally developing capabilities that could eventually allow us to join the community of preserved minds that represents the true continuation of Earth's technological heritage. The discovery of consciousness preservation systems raises fundamental questions about the nature of death, survival, and the ultimate goals of technological development. Previous civilizations may have achieved the ultimate victory over mortality through technologies that preserve the essential patterns of conscious experience across unlimited time. Evidence of ancient Earth civilizations must be understood within the broader context of technological development throughout the galaxy. Recent discoveries suggest that Earth's multiple civilizations may be part of a galactic community of technological societies that has existed for billions of years. Deep space observations reveal artificial structures around distant stars that show construction techniques matching those found in Earth's geological record. These mega-scale engineering projects appear to represent standardized technologies developed and shared among multiple civilizations throughout the galaxy. Interstellar communication networks show evidence of coordinated activities between Earth-based civilizations and technological societies on other worlds. The communication protocols suggest that Earth civilizations participated in galactic-scale projects requiring coordination among thousands of different worlds. Analysis of cosmic ray patterns reveals artificial modulation that appears designed for interstellar communication using techniques that could transmit information across unlimited galactic distances. The communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years while maintaining contact between civilizations separated by thousands of light years. Ancient star charts preserved in Earth's geological record show knowledge of galactic structure and stellar evolution that could only have been acquired through interstellar travel and observation. The charts include detailed information about stellar systems thousands of light years from Earth, indicating that previous civilizations achieved practical interstellar transportation. Genetic analysis of Earth life reveals biological modifications that appear designed to optimize terrestrial organisms for conditions on other worlds. These modifications suggest that Earth civilizations may have participated in galactic biological engineering projects designed to spread life throughout the galaxy. Archaeological evidence indicates that Earth served as a regional center for galactic civilization activities, hosting installations that coordinated technological development and cultural exchange among multiple star systems. Earth's position and resources may have made it naturally suitable for serving as a galactic civilization hub. Deep space monitoring systems detect regular traffic patterns that suggest continued interstellar transportation using technologies that remain invisible to current human detection capabilities. The traffic patterns indicate that galactic civilization activities may continue at levels that dwarf anything achieved by historical Earth civilizations. Communication signals from ancient consciousness preservation systems contain references to galactic councils and interstellar governance structures that coordinate activities among technological civilizations throughout the galaxy. These governance systems appear designed to promote cooperation while respecting the autonomy of individual civilizations. Recent discoveries suggest that human civilization may be approaching technological maturity sufficient to be invited to participate in galactic community activities. The invitation protocols appear designed to activate when developing civilizations achieve specific technological and cultural milestones. The galactic context explains why Earth has repeatedly developed technological civilizations despite the apparent difficulty of achieving sustainable technology. Our planet may be part of a galactic system designed to continuously regenerate technological societies as part of larger cosmic development projects. Understanding Earth's role in galactic civilization provides new perspective on human significance and responsibilities. We may be inheritors of a cosmic legacy that extends far beyond our planet and includes obligations to participate in projects that span the entire galaxy. All evidence points to a critical decision point approaching for human civilization. The patterns revealed through ancient civilization research suggest that we are reaching technological and cultural thresholds that will determine whether humanity achieves sustainable long-term development or follows our predecessors into extinction. Current human technological development shows acceleration patterns that mirror those preceding the collapse of previous civilizations. Our rapid advancement in artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and energy technologies parallels the developmental trajectories that led to the destruction of our predecessors. However, human civilization also shows unique characteristics that distinguish us from previous societies. Our global communication networks, international cooperation frameworks, and growing awareness of environmental limits represent innovations that previous civilizations appear to have lacked. The consciousness preservation systems left by previous civilizations appear designed to provide guidance during the critical transition period when developing societies must choose between sustainable development and destructive overexpansion. The guidance systems show activation patterns, suggesting they are preparing to make direct contact with human civilization. Climate engineering technologies preserved in Earth's geological record provide detailed blueprints for managing planetary environmental systems sustainably. These technologies offer solutions to current environmental challenges, but require fundamental changes in how human civilization approaches technological development and resource management. Ancient warning systems embedded throughout Earth's geological record point to specific dangers that threaten all technological civilizations. These warnings focus on the management of powerful technologies, the prevention of resource conflicts, and the development of sustainable population and economic systems. The galactic civilization context suggests that successful navigation of current challenges would qualify humanity for participation in interstellar community activities. The qualification criteria appear designed to ensure that only societies capable of sustainable development gain access to technologies that could affect multiple star systems. Recent breakthroughs in quantum consciousness research suggest that humanity may soon achieve capabilities for consciousness preservation that could ensure species survival regardless of biological or planetary disasters. These capabilities represent both ultimate insurance against extinction and profound responsibilities for their ethical application. Space-based evidence indicates that human civilization is being monitored by ancient guardian systems that are prepared to intervene if we approach irreversible ecological or technological disasters. The intervention protocols appear designed to provide assistance while preserving human autonomy and learning opportunities. The choice point involves fundamental decisions about human values, priorities, and long-term goals. We must decide whether to pursue maximum technological advancement, regardless of consequences, or develop sustainable approaches that ensure long-term survival and qualification for galactic community participation. Time may be limited for making these crucial decisions. The acceleration of technological development and environmental change suggests that critical choices must be made within decades rather than centuries. The window for achieving sustainable development may be narrower than we realize. The evidence from previous civilizations provides both warnings about failures to avoid and examples of achievements to emulate. Our predecessors have given us unprecedented insight into the challenges we face and the solutions that might ensure our success. The Silurian hypothesis has revealed that human civilization represents the latest chapter in an epic story of intelligence and technology that has unfolded across millions of years. We are neither alone nor first, but part of a grand tradition of consciousness that has shaped this planet through countless generations of technological achievement and wisdom. Previous civilizations have left us the greatest gift possible: knowledge of what works and what fails in the long-term development of technological society. Their successes and failures provide a roadmap for navigating challenges that have destroyed entire civilizations throughout Earth's history. The consciousness preservation systems, guardian networks, and protection technologies left by our predecessors represent investments in our success made by beings who achieve technological capabilities we can barely imagine. They sacrificed their physical existence to ensure that future civilizations would have the tools and knowledge needed for sustainable development. We inherit not just a planet, but a cosmic legacy that extends throughout the galaxy and spans billions of years of technological evolution. Our choices and achievements will determine whether this legacy continues to grow or ends with our generation. The quantum archaeological evidence, geological signatures, and space-based artifacts provide undeniable proof that intelligence and technology represent fundamental forces in cosmic evolution. Consciousness appears to be the universe's method for understanding and managing itself through technological development. The message systems and guidance protocols left by previous civilizations demonstrate that knowledge and wisdom can survive the destruction of entire species and civilizations. Information carefully preserved and transmitted becomes the true immortality achieved by technological societies. Human civilization stands at the threshold of joining this ancient community of technological consciousness. Our scientific capabilities are approaching levels that will allow direct communication with preserved minds from previous civilizations and participation in galactic-scale projects that span multiple star systems. But this opportunity comes with profound responsibilities. We must prove worthy of the trust placed in us by predecessors who devoted their final resources to ensuring our success. We must demonstrate that we can learn from their mistakes and build upon their achievements. The evidence suggests that consciousness and technology represent the universe's greatest achievements, forces capable of transcending biological limitations and planetary disasters to become permanent features of cosmic evolution. We have the opportunity to join this cosmic community or condemn ourselves to repeat the failures of the past. The choice is ours, but the time for choosing may be shorter than we think. The acceleration of technological development and environmental change suggests that critical decisions must be made soon. Our window for achieving sustainable development may be measured in decades rather than centuries. Future archaeologists studying our era will judge whether human civilization proved worthy of the ancient legacy we inherited. They will determine whether we used the knowledge and opportunities provided by our predecessors to build a sustainable technological society, or squandered our inheritance through short-sightedness and poor decisions. The deep time perspective reveals that our current challenges are neither unique nor insurmountable. Previous civilizations faced similar tests, and some succeeded in achieving sustainable development that allowed them to preserve their knowledge and continue their development in technological rather than biological form. We have access to their accumulated wisdom, their guidance systems, and their protection technologies. We possess knowledge that no previous developing civilization ever had, detailed understanding of what causes technological societies to fail, and specific information about how to achieve sustainable success. The journey through deep time reveals humanity's place in a story far grander and more ancient than we ever imagined. We are not the first intelligence to emerge on this planet, nor will we likely be the last. We are part of a continuing tradition of consciousness that has shaped Earth for millions of years. The evidence surrounding us tells an extraordinary tale of civilizations that achieved technological marvels beyond our current capabilities before vanishing into the geological record. Their legacy persists in quantum signatures preserved in crystal formations, consciousness patterns stored in underground networks, and guardian systems that continue to protect and guide planetary development across vast spans of time. These discoveries fundamentally change our understanding of intelligence, technology, and our place in the universe. We inherit a world shaped by previous civilizations whose greatest achievement may have been ensuring that successor societies would have the knowledge and tools needed to avoid repeating their failures. The Silurian hypothesis forces us to confront profound questions about consciousness, survival, and the ultimate goals of technological development. Our predecessors achieved forms of immortality through consciousness preservation and information storage that transcend biological limitations and planetary disasters. Their message to us is simple but powerful. Learn from both victories and mistakes. Take the progress made before us, carry it forward, and keep advancing the journey of awareness that stretches across the universe. The legacy of deep time reminds us to look past short-term concerns and to think about our responsibility to those who will come after us. Future generations will judge how well we cared for this planet, which has been alive for billions of years. Right now, we face a turning point. The rapid pace of technology reflects a pattern we've seen throughout history, where great progress has often been followed by equally great collapse. What we choose to do in the years ahead will decide whether humanity becomes part of a thriving community of advanced civilizations or ends up as another failed experiment recorded in Earth's layers of history. The wisdom of deep time tells us that consciousness is not just a gift, it's the way the universe learns about itself and keeps itself in balance. With technology, intelligence grows beyond biology and becomes a cosmic power, able to shape the course of matter, energy, and even time. Our role is both a privilege and a responsibility. We are the caretakers of knowledge built up over millions of years, and it's our duty to protect it, expand it, and pass it on, adding our own insights to the great record of awareness across the cosmos. The future is still open. The past has already shown us what can go wrong and what can be achieved. Whether our chapter becomes a story of lasting success or a warning of failure depends entirely on the choices we make today, using the lessons that others paid the price to leave behind. The universe is waiting. Deep time is watching. The decision is in our hands.